Welcome to the Ladies Talk Show. We're doing something different today. To be actually honest with you, I don't even know what it is. They said, Leah, just show up in studio. We're doing something fun. So I don't know what we're doing, and welcome. And I hope we enjoy this, because I hope I enjoy it. And I hope, I hope this goes out well, and I hope I do good, because I'm nervous to, maybe it's the worst wife ever, and they're going to make me the worst wife. I don't know what's happening, but let's go. Okay, so what do I start? What do I do?
Okay, so we are putting Leah to the test today, game style. So
Okay.
we're gonna shoot at you, Leah, a letter from A to Z, and you have to give your listeners a tip or a trick related to shalom bayis. So it has to begin with that letter. Are you ready?
Oh,
No time to think.
no, I'm totally not ready, but go.
Okay,
Okay.
A.
Get the appreciation you need. Don't be lazy. Don't make this your priority in your life to get appreciated. Don't wait for your husband to appreciate you. Don't wait for anybody to, let's just talk about your husband. Don't wait for your husband to appreciate you. Solicit his appreciation, because if you sit there and you say, you're waiting for him to say your new outfit is nice, he doesn't say it. Now you're mad for 3 weeks. You give him the silent treatment. No, you take a price and say, I got this new outfit. Isn't it yum? Isn't this beautiful? Isn't this nice? And he'll be like, don't put words in my mouth. You're like, no, 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 no. I'm trying to make your life easier, like that. Okay. That's what you wanted? Am I doing?
Amazing,
Yeah, no,
amazing. Well done.
that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay, fine. Okay. I'm
A
sort
for
of getting this.
amazing.
Okay.
Okay, beginning with the letter B.
Oh
We're
no.
going from A to Z. We want all the tips and tricks from you.
Okay. B. Well, I was going to say be yourself, but maybe that's not a good, maybe being good isn't me, being self isn't good. No, okay, so hold on, give me 1 second. Um, I think there's a really, really, women do one thing very, very badly. That also begins with B, but that's what the thing that women do very, very badly is they don't recognize their inner beauty. B for beauty. Meaning we're really good at beating ourselves up. We can like can you see that? Yeah. Oh, this is my ladies
B
talk
for boxing glove.
B for boxer. But we beat ourselves up, we put ourselves down, we ruminate. Oh, why did I say that? Why did I do it that way? That was, right. We're very, very good at beating ourselves up, but we're very, very bad at recognizing our own beauty. And Rav Yerucham talks about the fact that more important, I hope I'm getting the quote right, and the person right. Forget about the quote. The quote is something: more than a person needs to recognize their weaknesses, which women are really expert at, a woman needs to recognize her strengths and double down on those. Okay, that's it. When do I know? How do I tell you that I'm done with a B?
Beautiful. I'll just shoot in with the next one. C.
Okay, C. Communication. That communication is, we learn, we go to school, right? What do we learn? Reading, writing, and arithmetic. Really nice, but it's much more important. The fourth thing, which we are not taught, which is communication, that it's good to know 2 + 2 and you will balance your checkbook. But how about having the relationships that you want? No one ever was on their deathbed saying, I wished I balanced my checkbook better. No, I wished I was closer to this one and that one. I wish I gave more time to that person. So communication is the single most important a skill a person can have to get closer to other people, which means PS, happier life. So C is to focus in on communication and learn it.
D.
Get it. Okay, D. Oh gosh, you're throwing them at me too fast. Okay, D. Um, delve deep into what you can do to fulfill your shlemus, so your perfection in this world. So the Vilna Gaon says that the reason we're placed on the planet Earth is to be our best self, is to introspect and grow our middos. That's how he says it. To introspect and grow our middos. I hope I'm getting right, but this is the Vilna Gaon, and really that's why we're put on the planet. Like, you were placed here to be a better person, and people avoid this at all costs. They avoid introspecting. They avoid, I don't want to deal with it, and it's his problem and it's her problem. And look, I'm a human being too. I know how, this is always like it's his fault. No, when we do the introspection necessary, and shift who we are as people and work on it, either with, ourselves or a book or a teacher or a coach or a therapist or a rebbitzin or a rabbi, somebody we turn to, and we do the introspection necessary to grow ourselves into the best person we possibly can be, so that we can, in Meretz Hashem, we can end up perfecting our neshama, which is why we're here. Okay. Wow. Oh my gosh, you're gonna throw an E
Beautiful.
at me. I can't stand this. Okay. It's E.
E. Let's go.
Okay.
You're doing great, Leah.
Okay. Okay. E. I'm still here. I'm just gotta think. E. E's a hard one. Wait, I'm never good at Scrabble. Hold on a second. E. Okay. I mean, the one that obviously comes to my mind is emotions, that people are, including myself, women, and even more so than men, are really at the effect of their emotions. And here, I'm going to give you an example. A guy comes home from work, right? And he didn't call, and the dinner's burned, and he walks through the door, and you're like, you burned the dinner. I mean, I burned the dinner because if you had told me you were coming home, I would have taken it off the stove, whatever. This is if the wife cooks and the husband or whatever, right? And he's like, and she says, what do you have to say for yourself? And he says, I was busy, or whatever. So now steam is coming out of her ears, right? Her emotions are flared, her resentment, her anger, her whatever, right? Her husband, after he comes home, he comes and sits down, and she brings him a coffee. I don't know, coffee late at night. She's gonna have jitters all night. Okay, she brings him water. Okay, that night, because of what he did, she's not bringing him water. And then the kid comes in and says, Dad, mommy, I need to, my homework. He said, go see or you'll have to talk to your father about that. Right. So she's completely let her emotions take over who she is. She, like, if she was standing outside herself and looked at herself and said, be immense. So he made a mistake, and then he compounded it by saying the mean comment, oh, I was busy or whatever. Like, he didn't even hear you. He didn't even, apologize, nothing like that. He's a human being. Give him a beam of water, be forgiving or whatever. But instead, no, what do? We get mad. We don't act like a mensch. We don't act, certainly not our best self. And it's not just our best self, it's the person we want to be. Nobody wants to wake up and say, oh, I want to be a mean person today, but it's like driven out of us because our emotions explode and take over who we are. So in terms of emotions, if you can realize that you have your emotions, don't let your emotions have you. So your husband comes in, he walks in, you say, you burned the dinner because you didn't tell me. And he says, I was busy. And you say, okay, fine. You bring him his water. Your kid comes in and says, oh, I need help with my homework. You say, why don't you talk to your daddy about it? Later, maybe you'll talk to your husband, believe me, if you do that, if you were that big of a mensch, he's going to feel worse and worse. Yeah. No, joking. But, he's going to come back and say, I'm sorry. Sorry I didn't call, and sorry I snapped at you when I came home. But if you start giving him the silent treatment and let your emotions take over your life, you're not going to have the closeness that is so, so crucial to our happiness. Okay. That was E.
Wow, you are doing
Oh,
well.
I
You know what's next?
know.
F.
What? Oh, F. Okay, F. Okay. Um, Forgive. That was obvious. Duh. I promise you, she didn't give me cliff notes. F, forgiveness. So the thing about forgiveness, people think forgiveness is a feeling. It's really an action. You forgive somebody, 99% of the time, it does not feel like the right thing to do. 99% of the time, it feels like, oh gosh, I have to forgive. He did this, he did that. And what he did was totally unforgivable. And of course, I've never in my life done anything unforgivable. Hello, I'm joking, because we know we all have done sort of unforgivable things. Actually, I just did one today. Whatever, I've got to figure out how I'm going to make. And I asked the person, what can I do to make it up to you? And their answer was, that's it. I just had to get it off my chest. And I'm like, but now it's on my chest, help. But anyway, so I'll have to patch that little thing up. But in any case, the point is that forgiveness is so crucial to our own mental health, our own ability to be close with a person, to let go of resentments and so forth. And forgiveness, it's a crazy, crazy thing. I know some of you probably like you rip off a Band-Aid like slow, right? And some of you go, right? So the people, forgiveness, that's how you want to be. And the slow people, become a Band-Aid ripper offer quicker person, okay? Because the faster you say, I forgive you, the faster you forgive somebody for doing something to you, the faster closeness gets, you build that muscle stronger and stronger and stronger. And it's shocking. After you have forgiven somebody, it's like, what was I on about? Why was I like holding back? Like I've been mad at them for a month. Shalom, that it's your husband, but I've been upset and I've been whatever, and I've had, for so long. And then after, when it's over, you're like, why was I so on about this? So the F is for forgive, and make that part of your daily life. The faster you rip the Band-Aid off, the faster you forgive, the closer you'll be to all the people that are important to you.
Beautiful. G.
Yes. G. I was going to say get happy, but that's so goofy. Okay. G is, I guess, Mavater, give in. So Rebbitzin, when I went to Eretz Israel, not this time, the time before, she gave me other advice the second time, but Rebbitzin Kolodetsky from that's Reb Chaim Kanievsky, Alav Shalom's his daughter. What a yummy person. Oh my gosh. You see her and she starts talking to you and you just want to hug her. I think I'm on video hugging her or whatever. Maybe she hugged me, I hugged her. Anyways, I love yum person. But I said to her, I said, listen, I speak to a lot of women. What can I tell them that is like a secret of shalom bayis? What can I tell them that will strengthen them and make them what's the biggest secret? And she said, in the name of my father, of Chaim, in the name who gave it over, I believe in the name of the Chavetz Chaim, if you mavater, you will never lose. I'm going to say it again. If you mavater, if you forgive, if you give in, give in. If you give in, you will never lose. And the key here is that it's very hard. It's very hard to give in when he's like, oh, I want to buy this car, and you're like, hello, that's got the worst track record, but it's red. That has nothing, like it's gonna break down. Oh, but it's red. Whatever it is. I'm just making up stuff, but I'm just saying that it's hard to give in when you are so absolutely positive that you are right and your husband's wrong, and giving in will bring brocha. And she did say, I said, she said, Rebbetzin Kolodetsky said, you may not see it, witness it right in front of you, like, oh, you gave in, and now, a check for $1,000 comes in, or 1,000 shekel, whatever, you may not see it, and in fact, you may not see it in your lifetime, but it's guaranteed by Hashem that you will see it. Your children, your grandchildren, somehow you will see this bracha. So this is Mavater, give in.
Wow. H.
She's still going at this. Do you notice?
I'm still, yeah, we're going all the way to Z, Leah.
Oh my gosh.
And I
Okay.
said Z, not Z.
Oh, there you go. Okay, fine. Okay, H. To remember that the family doesn't live in a house. The family lives in a home. And guess who the home is? You. That you are the home. That the atmosphere in the house, in the apartment, in the wherever you're living, in the tent, wherever you are, the whole atmosphere, the whole kli, the whole how do you say kli? Vessel, yeah, the whole vessel that your family lives in, that you and your husband, if you don't have kids or whatever, the whole vessel is you. And that is a big privilege, but it's also a responsibility that you have to realize, the thing, when mama ain't happy, ain't nobody's happy, right? So it's, we're mechuyev to be joyous, we're mechuyev to be besimcha, we're mechuyev, obligated to feel appreciation, and if you focus on that responsibility of home, and really take it seriously that you are the home and the family. Maybe we'll shift and give you a little bit more koyach so that when you're in a bad mood, I hear people have bad moods. Hello, when you're in a bad mood or whatever, you can realize, I'm the home. I'm gonna shake myself out of it. Whether that's eating a whole bar of chocolate to get yourself shalom, because we really need to be watching our health. But something. Find things that you can do to help you create that environment that you really, really want, even though sometimes it's hard to achieve. Good. Okay, what else?
Wow. I.
Okay, I. Well, this goes back to the Vilna Gaon, who says to introspect. I think introspection is, and I'm covering it again because I think that most people, what is the thing they say, that most people just live um, and aren't alive, or something like that. Like, in other words, we would just go through the rote and the in the Yetzer Hara. I heard from a gadol. He said to me that the number one problem with what the number one tool of the Yetzer Hara today is to make us so frenzied and so crazy and so busy that we don't have time to introspect. So what does introspection do? It's like we plopped on the pillow. Oh, when I ran into so and so at the thing, I think I dismissed her too quickly at the grocery store. I think she might be feeling like I don't care about her. I'm going to send her a text in the morning and say, just thinking about you. That's what introspection does. It brings out our best self. So that's I.
J. Good
J.
luck.
Good luck. J. I mean, joy. Joyous. Okay, I'm going to do joyous for J because it's just too obvious. And here's the thing about joy. People think joy is a thing that happens to them, when often a person can, 90% of joy is just saying, I'm going to enjoy this. Like, I know somebody had a birthday party for a kid, and they're running here and running there, and oh, this kid didn't get a lollipop, and that one didn't this, and oh, the thing didn't come. Oh, I set up the thing so that they could all get it, and some kid came and knocked everything down, and the birthday party's a disaster, and whatever. And that it's true. All the logistics of life just really interfere with our joy, and what a maturity and self-mastery gets us is the ability to feel joyous in the midst of the chaos that life is. And that mental shift, this isn't something you need to do. This is not a to-do one. This is a mental shift of recognizing that the joy in my life can be controlled by me, by my mental attitude, that everything can be going wrong around us. And part of the thing was that this kid who, there were apples with caramel on it, and that one kid took a bite out of every one of them. The party is ruined. The main thing where people are going to eat these caramel apples is ruined, right? Because your 3-year-old or someone else who you really don't like, and then her daughter did it, and it's her fault, and now you got to machlekes on the whatever. This crazy, crazy thing. It's like when all of the apples are bitten in, you look up to Shemayim and you say, Hashem, thank you for such a beautiful, beautiful problem. I'm not in a hospital trying to help somebody. I'm not I'm not stuck in the free with a flat tire. Thank you for this beautiful, beautiful problem you gave me. And that will give you that outlook, and that attitude will give you the kind of day-to-day, moment-to-moment joy that will spread to yourself and to all those around you. Meretz Hashem. Good.
Wow, this is going so well. You're the best at this game.
My gosh.
K.
K. Okay, watch me fail now that you said you built me up, and now I'm going to totally fall on my face. Okay. K. What starts with K? A kitchen? The queen of the kitchen? Okay, I just have to go with K, right? What K, kitchen. Okay, so the kitchen. In the kitchen, um, I have this. I mean, maybe it's just me, but I have this thing. There's some women who like stay out of my kitchen, right? And then there's some women who like come help, and they make a mess, like literally the flowers all over the floor, the rolling pins on the thing. Do people still use rolling pins? I don't know if people are making, everything now you buy at the thing. But anyway, whatever it is, there's a a kitchen is part of you. It's like an extension of a woman. You know, there's some people who like love everyone in the kitchen with them, and there's some people who just like go away. I can't read this recipe. You know, so I tend to feel like the kitchen is a potential of cleaving the family to you. Um, and I could be wrong. And if it really makes you crazy to have people underfoot and whatever, I totally hear that. Maybe have a special drawer there where they pull out and have coloring books and crayons or whatever, depending on the age, you know, puzzles for the older kids or something. But there is something about a kitchen that's very, very special. So I'm not saying you need to turn yourself upside down, but I'm saying like wherever you level you are, move a tiny bit closer towards being the kind of person who uses their kitchen and their kitchen hominess, yumminess, whatever, to bring their family closer to them. Okay. Okay. What else
That's
can I do
another
with K?
idea.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Okay. Okay.
L. No.
K L. Yes, it's
Okay,
L.
L.
I have to go through the alphabet with I still can't do, is N before N or N, L, M, N, O, P. Okay, so anyway, L. Okay, L is laugh. So actually, I think this laugh is the craziest thing that people don't do. Like, it's such a free thing in our lives. You know, it's totally free. And, you know, here's how to create more laughter in your home. Don't try and crack up more jokes and try and make everybody laugh around you. You laugh at everything anyone says. You want the quickest way to your husband's heart? Laugh at every joke. Leah, he's told me the same bad dad jokes again and again and again. Every time he says them, laugh as if you never heard it before. I hope my husband doesn't hear this because he's going to think he's not really funny. It's just me, you know, with my scheme. You know, actually, I don't care. He knows how much I love him. Okay, laughing to make your home full of laughter. It's you laughing. So laugh even when you don't think it's funny, when you've heard it 1,000 times before, when you know, you feel like they're going to think you're goofy or like not smart because you're laughing at the stupidest things. They're not going to judge you on that. They're going to judge themselves on, oh, I must be funny. It builds self-esteem in kids like nothing else to laugh at their jokes. And with your husband, it brings him closer and closer to you. So it really, you know, you want your husband to cleave to you. You want your husband to be connected, to feel close to you, to turn to you, to ask you to whatever. Laugh at his jokes. No kidding. This is going to bring so much joy. And it takes the tension out of the day. Like, you know, like if everything's flying and this and what, oh, come on, and where'd that go? And he showed up late, and this one didn't go, and that fell, and this, whatever. Everything's going crazy. I know, I'm alive. I know how life unfolds. Okay. But if you laugh about it and say, oh, that was all your fault, you know, a kid can be on the other side of the room, thing can whatever. And I'm like, oh, why did you do that? And everyone laughs rather than saying, oh, dang it, that thing fell. You know, right. Okay, fine. You get the point. Okay, what's the next one? Oh, wait, that was L. Okay, so now you got to tell me M. Okay, fine. M. This is a tough one. Do I have to say it?
Yeah.
Is maturity. That there is a um, anti-maturity movement on the planet Earth of, you know, it's his fault, it's that fault. Maturity is a whole shift in taking responsibility for your own life and for your Daled Amos, for what's going on around you. And there's a resistance to maturity because it's who wants that responsibility? Who want, you know, it's much easier to blame other things or other people, and to feel like the victim of circumstances. Maturity means that you take responsibility for what's going on in your life. I'll give you an example. You know, a kid comes in, right, and starts screaming their head off. Your first thinking is, why don't they teach middos in school? Why the husband screams his head off? That's why the kid's like that. You know, like there's a million places your head could go. But if you had a level of maturity, if you brought yourself to a place when your kids scream their head off, you'd say, what can I do to improve the situation right in front of me? And that's a level of maturity. And you can't do it all the time. Of course, I do it all the time. Ha ha, wink, wink. Now, you know, you can't do it all. You can't be mature all the time. But That's what we should all be growing toward, is to being more mature in our life and taking a prize for what's in our life rather than blaming it on circumstances and other people. Okay. That was M. Okay, she says we have to end. So we're out of time. That's the most annoying thing ever. Now we'll have to do, what are we doing? And we're going to tape it right now because otherwise I'll spend all week planning it out. And we're on N. So we did M, right? And we start the next one with N. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for being here. I hope that was helpful. It was like really talk about brain bang, bang, bang. Anyway, okay. Lots of love. This is Leah Richeimer. We'll see you next time.